Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I got given this wonderful new toy by a delightful friend who sent this to me for Christmas, and it's just arrived, so I thought I would do a little product review. This is the Green Stuff World brush rinser. I'm sure I'm not the first ever to encounter this, but this is the first time I've ever heard of it. I like using watercolor, I like using acrylic. I'm sure it makes many artists' lives a nightmare when you're trying to use your rinse water and you need to have at least two jars. You've got one that's really dirty, one that's slightly less dirty, and all you want is just nice clean water to play with when you're doing your painting. I know that Green Stuff World primarily sells stuff for miniature painters. I'm not a miniature painter. It does say on the top that ideal for any artistic painting, so we will try that today. I feel like this is going to be a pretty fun product to have, so stick with me if you're interested to find out how good this is. Let's jump into it. I think there is some assembly required based on the fact that it all comes in pieces. I don't know what that's saying to me. If you're like me as an artist, you're probably quite visual. I'm looking at that going, I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's okay because there's written words on the inside so I can read it. It's fine. I'm hoping this is straightforward because it doesn't actually have how to build it. It's fine. I'm gonna guess. Okay, I can work that out. That's gonna be the base. That's for that. Now see, that I can work out. Okay, dokie. I need a screwdriver. I am guessing. Okay, so, okay, I've worked it out. There's this thing on the inside. See this little nodule? That goes on there. And that goes on there. And now this goes in here. I probably should get a screwdriver. Okay, so it turns out I don't have a screwdriver, but I managed to get it tightened, though I think it's going to be pretty important that that bit is tight. We will see. So then this bit goes through here and then clicks on. I think that's done. I have a very bad feeling that because I don't have a screwdriver, I'm going to be in trouble. I think it'll just leak. There is a gap, and that just means as soon as the water goes down this little thing, it will just... There is light coming through there. What else can I use as a screwdriver? Do I want to ruin a palette knife? Nope. Ooh, that works. Do as I say, not as I do. Use a screwdriver. Well, you'll need that rubber bung to be secure. That was an endurance task. I think that's about as fiddly as it gets. I've got to fill this up. Oh, I'm gonna make such a mess. Does it not tighten? Okay, I think it just... Okay, and now... Why is there bubbles? What's this about? Why is it doing that? If air bubbles are observed continuously entering... Yeah, panic. I've got to drain the whole thing now. Let me just... Not sufficiently close. I don't think I need to do this. Let's see what happens. Alright, well I gotta fill it back up again. Okay, so I can take this off safely without spillage. I'm gonna make a mess. It's gonna be water everywhere by the end. I'm gonna go through the same issue again, aren't I? Don't do well with new things. I don't know how to make this sufficiently closed because it doesn't twist. No. Yeah. That bubble's okay. So you don't want bubbles just randomly coming up from the side. So I'm going to try this with acrylic paint and watercolor paint. I don't think watercolor paint is going to be a problem because it's light. It's not thick like acrylic paint. This well is quite small. I don't think it's going to be particularly good for large brushes because you're gonna run out of water before the brush is clean. I think I'll probably use it more for watercolor painting anyway. Let's go all out and use this really dark paint, and then you can see it's easier for you to see, and also it's dark and hard to get off brushes. So let's just say I've done some painting. La, 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 la. So it's quite dirty. I mean, I tend to put just a ridiculous amount of paint on my brushes, so let's go properly. I'm scared. Let's do it. So it's got the nice ridges on it, so it does mean that it kind of helps you to get the paint off the brushes. And I wouldn't worry too much about the back swirl because when you pour it away, it flushes it all out. You do kind of get a little bit, depending on the paint that you've used, a little bit left over, so probably worth doing a couple swirls. It works. Let's put more in. That's more like a brush that I would have pretty much just coated. I mean, does what it says on the tin. So it does need 2 or more. I mean, I'll try it with watercolor in a second. This is acrylic, so there's going to be a lot of pigment. So I mean, you can use it for larger brushes. That's what I've just done. It's fine. You're just going to need to clean it out. You're going to need to do a couple rounds, a couple flushes, which means that you're going to drain the water bottle quicker. That's fine. Let's try it with watercolor. Going back in with my Artful watercolor tin. All right, let's go for good old purple. I think this is obviously going to be easier. This is just naturally what it's going to do. Give it a nice clean, trying to get as much off as possible. So that's one flush. Yeah, this is going to be great for watercolor. I think this is a really great product. It's just worth bearing in mind that when you're loading it, when you're moving it especially, like I've just moved it from here to show it to this camera, it does slosh around a bit, which makes the water spill slightly. So that's just something to bear in mind. It's not too bad. It's quite, I would say novel, but then this has probably been around for ages. It's only novel to me because I've only just heard of it. I think it'd be really nice if this well was bigger, honestly. I guess it entirely depends on what kind of painter you are. I like it. I think it's fun. I'm going to be using this routinely. It's kind of therapeutic. The only way you can top this up is if it's empty. Otherwise it's going to spill. I'm gonna do it. Right, gonna see what happens. I can't think how to do this. So here's my thinking. If you go for long periods of time without painting and you leave this and it's a bright sunny area and warm, I can see this getting filled with like algae and going a bit green and rotty. That's probably worth bearing in mind. Out of habit, I would want to empty this at the end of every round. I'm gonna see what happens. That wasn't that bad actually. It doesn't let out. No, it does. If you do it quick enough, you're gonna be fine. So now I'm glad I put that down. So it's a really handy contraption. I can see this being really helpful and really great for just making my life easier when it comes to painting. I wish this was bigger. That's the only gripe I have, just because it could hold more. If this was, say, 1,000 mils, like if you had a really big bottle, this would have to be bigger to accommodate. Because obviously if this is 500 mils, or this is 1,000 mils, and the bottom was still only 500 mils, then you'd have to empty this, and it could be really messy. I guess what I want is one that's twice the size. That's entirely me. I really like it. I'm not gonna put that back in. Wait, am I? I recommend that. If you're interested, I'm not an affiliate or anything, but if you find this particularly interesting, what I'll do is I'll pop a link in the description for you so you can go buy one for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this kind of video, do let me know in the comments below. That'll do for today's video. If you like this kind of video, please consider subscribing. It really does massively help me out. It's so good to see you here, and I can't wait to see you again for the next one. Bye guys. Oh, I should see what it's like in there. I bet it's gross. We'll see what colour it's coming out. It's probably brown. Always brown. Oh, there's water in the top. It's blue. Of course it's blue. I used blue. Why would it be brown?